The fact that you're here hearing my words right now is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble upon this randomly. Your curiosity didn't just wander here by accident. You were led, guided by something greater than chance, something beyond logic, something that has been quietly orchestrating moments in your life, moments you once believed were disconnected, random, meaningless, until right now. Right now, you're beginning to see that everything has been leading somewhere. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment, every unexpected turn, it was all part of a design you couldn't see while you were walking through it. And that somewhere, you're standing at the entrance of it. Pause and really let that sink in. Because here's what you need to understand. When you're on the verge of a major life shift, the universe doesn't send you a formal invitation. It doesn't knock politely on your door and wait for you to answer. It doesn't arrive with flashing lights or a grand announcement that says, "Your new life begins now." No, it sends signs, subtle nudges, whispers in your spirit, moments that make you pause and feel something you can't quite name, a stirring, a resonance, a quiet, internal recognition. And if you're seeing this right now, if these words are landing in your chest in a way that feels almost too accurate to ignore, that's your sign. Everything is about to unfold for you. Not eventually, not someday when you're finally ready, not when you've become more polished, more perfect, more worthy. Now, in this season, in the life you're living at this very moment, you've been feeling it, haven't you? That restlessness, that subtle agitation, that sense that something is shifting beneath the surface, even though nothing in your external world seems dramatically different yet. That quiet knowing that you're being pulled towards something you can't see, but can somehow feel with absolute certainty. Maybe you've started noticing patterns, numbers that seem to follow you everywhere, conversations that answer questions you never even asked out loud, people appearing in your life with impossibly perfect timing, just when you needed them most. You wondered if you were reading too much into it. You told yourself maybe you were just desperate for meaning. Maybe you were connecting dots that weren't actually connected. But you weren't. Those weren't coincidences. They were confirmations. Confirmations that you're in alignment with something that's been trying to reach you. Confirmations that you've done the internal work necessary to recognize the path when it appears. Confirmations that you're finally ready to receive what's been waiting for you to become who you needed to be in order to hold it. And the reason you can feel it so intensely right now, the reason your soul feels like it's vibrating with recognition as you hear this, is because the unfolding has already begun. Here's what most people don't understand about transformation. It doesn't happen all at once. It doesn't arrive with sudden windfalls or obvious markers that say, "Your new life starts here." It begins in the invisible realm first. It begins with shifts in energy, changes in frequency, a rearranging of possibilities that you can't see yet, but can sense. Something subtle starts recalibrating, internally, spiritually, emotionally, and then, slowly at first, and then all at once, it begins to materialize in your physical reality. The right opportunities present themselves. The right people enter your orbit. The right conversations open doors you didn't know were there. Circumstances align in ways that feel too precise to be random. Doors that once felt sealed shut suddenly swing open with the lightest touch. Resistance turns into flow. Confusion turns into clarity. And when you look back, you'll realize it all started long before you recognized it, before you had language for what was happening, when all you could feel was that inexplicable pull toward something more. That pull, that was the future calling you forward. That was your destiny reaching back through time to get your attention. That was the life you're meant to live, introducing itself to the version of you who's finally ready to step into it. You've been preparing for this longer than you realize. Every hard season you survived, every lesson you learned the painful way, every time you chose growth over comfort, truth over convenience, integrity over ease, none of it was wasted. None of it was random. It was preparation. Preparation for a level of living that requires a specific kind of person. Someone who has been tested. Someone who has been refined. Someone who knows their worth. Not because life was easy, but because they fought to remember it. when everything tried to make them forget. That's you. You're not the person you used to be. Something fundamental has shifted inside you. Even if you can't fully articulate it, you can feel it. You don't accept the same things. You don't tolerate the same treatment. You don't settle for the same level of existence. You don't dim yourself to make others comfortable anymore. There is a quiet confidence in you now, a steadiness, a discernment, and that shift, that becoming, has created a new frequency around your life, a new vibration, a new magnetic field. What's about to unfold is simply a match to that frequency. Because the universe operates on a principle most people never fully grasp. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. When you were operating from lack, you attracted lack. When you were operating from fear, you attracted situations that confirmed your fears. When you were operating from unworthiness, you attracted people and experiences that reinforced that belief. But now you're operating from something different, from knowing, from alignment, from a place that doesn't beg for validation because you found validation in your own becoming. And the universe is responding. The job that doesn't just pay the bills, but feeds your soul. The relationship that doesn't just fill time, but expands who you are. The opportunities that don't just advance your career, but align with your purpose. The life that doesn't just look good from the outside, but feels right on the inside. It's all coming. Not because you earned it through suffering, though you have suffered. Not because you proved yourself worthy, though you are worthy. But because you've become the version of yourself who can receive it. The version who no longer chases from desperation. The version who no longer clings from fear. The version who no longer doubts the moment something good begins to happen. You've become the version who can hold it, who can hold success without shrinking, who can hold love without sabotaging it, who can hold abundance without feeling guilty for having it. You've become the version who won't destroy the blessing the moment it arrives, because you've healed the part of you that once believed you didn't deserve it. You've done the inner work, the quiet work, the unseen work, the work no one applauded you for. You sat with your shadows. You questioned your patterns. You broke cycles that ran through generations. You chose awareness over autopilot. You chose growth when it would have been easier to stay the same. And because of that, you're ready now. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to figure out how. You don't have to map out every step. You don't have to calculate every outcome. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to control every variable. You don't have to force doors open. What's meant for you won't require you to break yourself to enter it. What's aligned with you won't demand that you beg for access. What's destined for you will recognize you as clearly as you recognize it. You don't have to manipulate circumstances. You don't have to twist yourself into someone more palatable. You don't have to convince anyone of your value, because your value is no longer up for negotiation. You just have to stay aligned, stay present, stay open, stay anchored in God's truth, stay rooted in who you've become. Alignment is your only responsibility now, because the unfolding doesn't require your control. It requires your trust. Trust that the signs you're seeing are real, even if others don't understand them. Trust that the shifts you're feeling are leading somewhere, even if you can't yet see the destination. Trust that the timing, even when it defies logic, is perfect in ways your limited perspective can't yet comprehend. Trust that delays are not denials. Trust that redirections are protections. Trust that silence is not absence. Trust that you didn't find this message by accident. This message found you because you're ready for what it's confirming. Everything is about to unfold for you. Not because I'm saying it, not because it sounds good, not because it's comforting, but because you can feel it in your bones, in your gut, in that quiet place beneath the noise of your thoughts, that place that recognizes truth before your mind can explain it, your soul. And that feeling, that's not fragile hope. It's not the kind of hope that wavers when circumstances look uncertain. It's not the kind of optimism that depends on evidence. That's divine recognition. It's your soul recognizing what your eyes haven't seen yet. It's your spirit remembering what your mind forgot. It's the deep internal knowing that the waiting season is ending, Your soul recognizing that the preparation is complete, that the stretching had a purpose, that the isolation had a purpose, that the confusion had a purpose, that the life you've been building in the invisible realm, through prayer, through discipline, through healing, through belief, is about to become visible. What was once only a vision is becoming a reality. What was once only a prayer is becoming provision. What was once only a whisper is becoming a manifestation. So right now, do something for yourself, for this moment, for this shift, for the confirmation your soul needs to anchor this truth into your body. Pause, breathe, and write this in the comments. I trust that everything is unfolding for me perfectly. When you write those words, you're not just typing a sentence. You're making a declaration. You're choosing faith over fear. You're choosing surrender over control. You're choosing alignment over anxiety. You're aligning your voice with what is already in motion. You're speaking in harmony with your becoming. You're reinforcing the version of you who believes, who receives, who allows. You're claiming your place at the threshold between who you were and who you're becoming, the threshold between waiting and receiving, the threshold between preparation and manifestation. And you're joining others who found this message at the exact moment they needed it, who feel, beyond logic or reason, that something profound is shifting. People who can't fully explain it, people who just know. Write it, declare it, claim it, not timidly, not casually, but with conviction. Because this isn't the beginning of hope. This is the confirmation of what's already true. The seeds have already been planted. The alignment has already begun. The shift is already in motion. Everything is about to unfold for you. And deep down, beneath the doubts, beneath the questions, beneath the what if it doesn't, you already know it.